What's up, Mortgage Coach community? Dave Savage, founder of Mortgage Coach. Today I'm with Alex Varela out of North Dallas. How you doing, Alex?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So you are in between Dallas and Fort Worth, is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, we're in almost directly in between both of the cities. Yeah. So
Awesome. Well, for anyone who's hearing Alex for the very first time, I'm going to put at least one interview down below that I've done with Alex before. He is one of the top loan officers in the country, one of the top Latino loan officers in the country in terms of the amount of Latino families you've helped out. How much business are you doing right now, just so they can get a feel for the volume of business you're doing?
yeah, absolutely. So year to date, we're like 280 something units. I think 283, and we'll probably finish up a little bit north of 400 this year. So
wow,
about 400 average for the last 6 or so years. Somewhere
that's a lot of families served. So guys, I think what impresses me so much about Alex is just his commitment to education, delivering education to families. And then I also think you're just a great success story of high touch, connecting with people in a personal, emotional connection way, but then you're leveraging technology. So you've made that digital transition to, using technology to deliver better advice and better personal connection. So this is part of our mortgage strategies. I think it's number 11. So mortgage strategies number 11. I think you were number 6 or 7 also. So we got another one from you. So why don't you tell us the story of the family, and then whenever you're ready, just start sharing your screen and walking us through this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a family, primary language is Spanish. So, there's, obviously, not everything translates 100% from English to Spanish, and it's kind of difficult, and something that I always tell a lot of our clients is that numbers are kind of universal. It's like math is one of those things where it's more universal than other things, and people seem to comprehend the figures more than kind of what you're talking about, and so this is a good tool for us to just show some of our clients like the numbers and kind of the big picture, versus just telling them, hey, this is what it is, or this is how things work. It's a way for them to understand it in a different language, right? Math, mathematics, and they could see the actual figures. So, we use this, it's family buying their first home, here in the United States. And so this is a big deal to them. They currently rent. And so we set it up as a rent versus own comparison, and just kind of show them some of the benefits, in my opinion, the Hispanic community is very big on paying off their debt. That's a big concern for them is, I'm going to buy this house, I'm going to pay it off, and then, I may look at buying something again in the future. And so we like to talk about their freedom point with them, because that's very important to them to actually have ownership of the home and pay the debt. So that's kind of what we're going to take a look at. I think I could just click this. And
so Alex, before you, by the way, you start sharing the desktop, let's get into the situation and the strategy. What was the source of the lead first?
Oh, go ahead.
What was the lead source? Where did the loan come from? Was it a realtor? Was it past customer?
Yeah.
And by the way, we don't see the total cost analysis yet. We're looking at the Mortgage Coach platform still. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I have it hidden. So, so this is a lead. Yeah, this is a lead from a real estate partner. What's pretty cool is that we can see. I think a lot of people know already. You can see when people kind of view it. But also the cool thing about this is that the realtor that we're doing business with has never seen this before. And so when they took a look at it, they were very impressed that we took the time to provide something like this for their client. And so, that was very important to them as well, that we took time to do this for them. And I was trying to look for it, and I may not have time to go, but you can put your realtor partner's information in here, so that way they can see, it could email automatically to them. And so they were very impressed, and they were like, wow, this is great. we like this presentation, and you know, we would like for you to do more of these. So, which we're happy to do. So it's just one more arrow in the quiver, and it's a little bit easier for us to, you know, sell our service to the real estate community, because they feel like this is a way more professional presentation than, you know, a good faith estimate, you know, old school good faith estimate, loan estimate, estimated fees worksheet, whatever you want to call it. So we're going something, you know, more towards this direction than anything else. So
yeah, and then also it's, you know, for everybody looking at this, it's got your personal brand. The family has the empowerment to translate it, read it in Spanish, read it in English. And obviously when it comes to adding the video, you could do that in whatever language you think is most on point for the client.
Right. Yeah. So so for the purposes, I just clicked it real quick, just so you can kind of see right corner, translate English to Spanish. So right now you can see that it translated to Spanish. So you can see everything is in Spanish here where my cursor is. Down here is a video that we recorded. I think we could play it again. I won't press it, but that's recorded within Mortgage Coach, and it's pretty cool because it pops up when they look at it, and you know, you can say a little greeting, or you could walk them through the analysis if you want. So I think that's a really cool feature. So, but what we did here, and I'll put it back in English, just so that way we can kind of go through it, is we took a couple different scenarios, and you know, they're wondering if they should, you know, pay points, don't pay points, or, you know, if it's beneficial. And you get a lot of stuff from the media, and you hear, you know, what interest rates are. I think, you know, if you look at anybody's website, you look at chase.com or something, they're at 4.875 with 1.250% in points. And what does that really mean? You know, like consumers, I don't think really understand what points are or how they benefit them. So we like to break this down and just say, hey, you know, here's your current rent, with your tax benefit included. You know, this is what you really pay for rent, but you don't own a home, you don't build any equity. So when they look at rent, we also like to look at, you know, something right here, which is, you know, rent versus the tax benefit, you know. So, you know, we look, hey, you're going to pay rent for, you know, 5 years. This is what your cost of rent is. And that's a big figure. So I know it seems simple for people to like look at the rent and multiply it by 60 months, but nobody does. And so this is a good way to show them like, hey, this is what you're actually spending to rent. That's money that we could be putting into a home that you can own forever. So we like to show the rent versus own, and kind of walk them through it. We also like to show them their net worth over a long period of time. And so we say, hey, look, you know, this is what you're paying in rent, and here's your net worth after 15 years, and then here's your net worth after 15 years with 2 other options. And then we can look at this one and say, wow, look at this, you know, you can be worth, you know, your net worth could be 172,000 over 15 years. This is by far your best option over the long run. And so everybody wants to say they're a 30-year thinker, and over 30 years, I'll save this or I'll save that. And with a tool like this, you can always talk about paying discount points and it being the best long-term solution if that's really what they're after. And you can see that represented here, that this is the one paying 2 points today. So with this one being kind of the best long-term option, and we're talking to people about long-term, we even sweeten the pot, and we do an analysis here where you can see that you have FHA with no points, FHA with 2 points, FHA with 1% cash back. So I'm going to take a premium rate and get more money today. So this would be my lowest out-of-pocket option. This would be my highest out-of-pocket option. And this would be my medium option in terms of my out-of-pocket expense. And so we talk to people about 2 things: one, out-of-pocket expense, and then monthly payment. So in this actual analysis right here, we said, if you can make the initial investment and pay the points and get the lower rate, you can take the monthly savings by paying points and you could reapply it towards the principal balance, and you can actually pay off your home in 23.58 years, comparing it to a 1% cash back loan where you have a higher out-of-pocket expense and a higher monthly payment, or a lower out-of-pocket expense but a higher monthly payment, and we could take that savings between this one and apply it towards the principal balance. So we like to show them another way of just kind of like how to invest money into the mortgage. you could take money and you could do other things with it. You can hang on to it. You could keep it in your bank. You can spend it on furniture. But this is a way for us to say, hey, look, let's turn this into an investment. Let's invest the money for a lower rate. Take that monthly savings, put it towards the principal balance, and we can get you to your freedom point a lot quicker and build equity faster. So
Hey, Alex?
Overall, yes, sir.
Hey, real quick, if you could click on that more information tab right there. I want everybody to, click on that. And I just want you guys to see the numbers of where he's taking, and you can see the 107, touch the 107.
Right
and
there.
actually click on the reinvestment tab, because this is such a powerful tab, just, right to the right. Yeah.
Yeah, which one do you want me to click on?
The reinvestment next to closing costs.
Okay, right here? Yep.
No, but click on the tab, go up to where it says payment breakdown, and then click on reinvestment tab right next to
Payment breakdown.
No, up top. And then,
oh, there we go. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So I just want folks to see this. Is this really helps you help a family understand how you've got their best interest in mind. And by the way, maybe they have the cash flow to do that. Maybe they don't. But it's always just good to show it, because most families, whether it's a Latino family, every family's goal and dream is usually to have debt-free home ownership. And while there are some folks that are super sophisticated and say, oh, I want to leverage the tax benefits and I want to save the difference and then pay off my mortgage someday, it doesn't matter. When you're the loan officer that shows this much education and transparency, you earn trust, you earn respect. And by the way, you create a client for life relationship. And as I always talk about, the goal is not just to get the loan, it's to get the client for life. It's to get them to where they feel like not only did you help them get a loan in a home, but you helped them build wealth with real estate. And when you have that kind of value, I mean, you just, rate shopping becomes a much lesser problem. Well, by the way, they may rate shop and they may even see lower rates. They're less likely to challenge you, and they're a whole lot more likely to refer you, because they'll just feel like this advice experience was just, it has tangible value. I mean, look at how much money your advice is worth, Alex. It's crazy.
Yeah, and and somebody kind of talked to me recently, and I like their advice is that they said show them what they want to see, and I said, well, what do you mean by that? And he's like, dude, well, if rates on the internet are at 4.875, show it to them. Show them what the cost of 4.875 is, because if you don't show them, you're out, and I thought that was great. And you'll be surprised at how many people see this, and then they decide, you know what, I do want to pay to get the lower rate. Like I am willing to pay that, and I am willing to stick with you, and that's fine. And so we now show 3 options all the time. And so we these are the options that we show. We show no points, 2 points, and 1 point cash back. And that's how we explain it. And we say, hey, you have more than one option. You have tons of options. These are just 3 that we're picking out for you, and I can do whatever you want. So, it does make sense to show them, a total cost analysis or a rent versus own with different payment options and different investment for points or not paying points. We think it's a wise decision, and we typically win, when we show them.
Yeah, and so X that out. Let's go back to that menu at the top of the TCA in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when I see it. Go up to the box, where you can change I just want everybody to see there that you can switch the view. You can share it. Click on the share real quick, Alex.
Let me share.
The view. Yeah. And I just want to remind folks, so many times there's multiple family members involved in the decision. And so it's also a shareable experience. So every family member can get that link. If you have a family come into your office, make sure you still show them how to share it, because there's other people that will want to see this scenario. So that's great, Alex. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. And I'm looking for, can you switch right here? Print call, switch view. I don't think that will let me go from the total cost, right?
What do you mean?
So this is a different view. I didn't know if you wanted to see this view.
Yeah, no, I think we're good.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, I just wanted to cover that rent versus own. I wanted to highlight the fact that, it's in Spanish. By the way, everyone, there's a link down below. If you're watching this video in YouTube, there's a little description area underneath. There'll be a link to the actual total cost of or rent versus own in Spanish. So check that out. Alex, you go ahead and stop sharing your screen. I want to remind you, this is part of a series of mortgage strategy interviews. So I'll put a link to the entire playlist. If you're a new loan officer, I mean, this is the best way to learn how to be an advisor. I mean, listen to every single one of these. You will not get better training. If you are new to advice, like I talk to loan officers all the time, they're saying, oh, well, what if they don't have options? Well, by the way, just about everybody has options. Or let's just say it's in your best interest to show them options because you're educating them, you're providing transparency, and in today's world, that's worth a lot. So you should give every family options. But it could have been where you just said, hey, here's your 30-year fixed rate, and then here's prepaying your mortgage. So at a minimum, you're showing them how to pay off their home faster. So every scenario has options. Alex, anything else you want to share with the mortgage coach community before we wrap this up?
No, I mean, with this environment, we've just been we've been using this a lot more than we have, when rates were 3%, right? And so, I would highly recommend people to take a look into it and try to utilize it as much as possible because, it's really making us stand out as an expert in our field. And I think in this environment, that's kind of where you need to be, is you need to either be an expert service provider or not. And you're going to have to pick. And in the middle, it's going to close out that gap, between people that have just been participating in our industry versus people that are committed and dedicated and true professionals. So a tool like this can set you apart. And, I just think it's the easiest way to do it. It's right here for you. You don't even have to go out and create it yourself. Like, you just got to use it. It's not like you have to create it yourself. So I think it's great, and you should jump on board and find something to separate you from the pack.
Yeah, well, Alex, I really appreciate you. Everybody, if you got value from this, give us a like. I am telling you right now, loan officers like Alex who master technology are absolutely going to take loans and eliminate loan officers that don't. So Alex, it's great. If you're in the mortgage coach community and you lead teams, you help inspire other loan officers, please share this, get the word out. Alex, I look forward to our next mortgage strategy. Really appreciate it, brother.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.